Drake and Serena Williams, once one of music and sport's most talked about couples, find themselves back in the headlines. It all started with a Super Bowl cameo, and now we might be seeing Drake's subtle response on social media. Stay tuned as we break down this surprise, the potential diss track cameo, and what our insiders say about how both Drake and Serena are handling all the buzz. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, especially in the aftermath of this year's incredible Super Bowl halftime performance. Kendrick Lamar surprised everyone by referencing one of his tracks rumored to be aimed at Drake. And guess who popped up right at that moment? None other than Serena Williams. Our camera crew spotted her making a brief cameo, and it's got social media talking. Is this a direct shot at Drake, or just a fun surprise? Let's dive into all the details. This year's Super Bowl halftime show was nothing short of spectacular, featuring multiple artists who brought the house down with medleys of their biggest hits. But in the midst of it all, Kendrick Lamar performed a snippet of a track that fans widely interpret as a diss aimed at none other than Drake. The real shocker, though, was when we spotted tennis legend Serena Williams appearing on screen during that exact moment. She's just thrilled to be there, enjoying the halftime show. However, fans everywhere immediately latched onto the moment. Why? Because it's no secret that Kendrick Lamar's track has often been interpreted as throwing shade at Drake. And for Serena, who dated Drake years ago, to appear at precisely that moment sent social media into a frenzy. Before we get into the social media reactions and possible clapbacks, let's rewind for a moment. Drake and Serena have a history that goes back several years. They were romantically linked around 2015, when Drake was frequently spotted cheering for Serena at some of her biggest tennis matches. Their chemistry was obvious, but they never confirmed their status with the usual Hollywood fanfare. Instead, they kept details private. Yet the paparazzi photos and fan chatter fueled plenty of speculation. Of course, as time passed, they went their separate ways. Serena moved on, and Drake's focus turned to his music and other romantic interests. Still, the two have remained somewhat cordial in the public eye, at least until the rumors started swirling about Kendrick Lamar's track and the possibility of a reference to Drake's sometimes thorny relationships within the industry. Now, the big question: did Serena intend to reignite the conversation around her past with Drake by appearing in Kendrick's show, especially during that rumored diss portion of the performance? Or was it all just a fun cameo that fans are reading way too much into? Shortly after the Super Bowl, Drake took to his burner Instagram account. Yes, that means a secondary account not typically known or followed by millions, as his main account is, to share a rather intriguing photo. The snapshot showed him at Wimbledon in 2015 with Serena's longtime agent, Jill Smaller. Now, why that photo? And why Jill? Well, here's the story. Jill Smaller has been by Serena's side for a long time. The tennis superstar and her agent have worked closely since early in Serena's career. In fact, Jill appears in Serena's 2016 self-titled documentary, emphasizing how influential and supportive she's been, both personally and professionally. But in this particular snapshot from 2015, Drake is there front and center cheering Serena on. At that time, Drake and Serena were indeed an item, though they stayed pretty tight-lipped about their status. So, fans are wondering, was Drake posting this to remind the world that he used to be very close to Serena and her inner circle, especially now that she's off having fun cameos in a potential diss track at his expense? It's a cryptic move. Drake didn't explicitly say anything negative about Serena in the caption, but given the timing, right after she appeared in Kendrick's performance, this post feels like a subtle jab or a response. He's essentially saying, hey, remember that I was once very much in her life too. It's classic Drake, subtle, a bit petty, and very strategic. Serena has always been vocal about her independence and her desire to keep personal matters private. Even at the peak of relationship rumors, she stressed that the rumors wouldn't affect her and that her focus remained on her game, her family, and her business ventures. Jill Smaller is not just an agent. She's a longtime friend who has been critical to Serena's ascension as one of the greatest athletes of all time. In that 2016 documentary, Serena described how Jill was a huge part of my team and our career. She mentioned that they were practically raised together in the tennis world. Serena, the young tennis prodigy, and Jill, the up-and-coming sports agent. They took a chance on each other, forging a powerful bond that has lasted for years. So, for Drake to spotlight Jill in his post could be interpreted many ways. Perhaps it's simply nostalgic, a memory of when he was traveling the world with Serena and her close circle. or it could be a reminder of his past significance in Serena's life. Drake's known for being introspective and, at times, a little territorial about his experiences. Posting an old photo with Jill, someone so close to Serena, may be his sly way of saying, "I was once in your trusted inner circle." As for Kendrick Lamar, he's basking in the praise for another groundbreaking performance. His halftime show was indeed memorable, and if it ruffled a few feathers in the process, well, that's just part of the entertainment world's give and take. We'll be keeping an eye on Drake's social media to see if any new cryptic messages pop up. Will he continue to reference his time with Serena? Will he respond directly with a new track? You never know with Drizzy. But rest assured, when something happens, you'll hear about it right here on VIP Status.